And then tomorrow, which by the way has we should point out the times are to be announced. So I'm going to assume, I shouldn't assume which is first, because I don't know if they're going to put Carlitos and Djokovic in the middle of the night or save that for the nightcap, but obviously Casper Ruud played the most recently. Ruud and Zverev in the second semi. What are your thoughts on both of those?
Yeah, I do think that they're going to try to put Alcaraz on a little bit later, even though I think that they're supposed to put them on earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I put up a write-up on vsin.com. I'm really high on Alcaraz, mostly because of the court conditions. Like, I'm not trying to make some sweeping statement about who the best player in the sport is. I think that, Djokovic is going to be the easy favorite going into Wimbledon, probably my pick to win that. But I do think that, the slower courts make a lot worse against Djokovic with this. I think that to beat Alcaraz, you really need to put a lot of pressure on him, hitting powerful shots deep in the court. With the way these courts are playing so slow, I don't think he's going to be able to do that against Alcaraz. And I also think, with Djokovic, such a big factor is that he's always the best returner on the court. But I'm not sure that's the case against Carlos, who's, breaking at 40% this year, even better on these slower courts. And I just think that it's going to be a little taxing on Djokovic's body to beat Carlos now.
I am with you wholeheartedly, though I do concede minus 222 on Carlitos seems a little high, doesn't it to you?
Yeah, and it's crazy, betting a guy that's like, he's won one Grand Slam, but he didn't have to go against any of the big three. He's playing a legend in the sport who's won more Grand Slams than Alcaraz has spent years on this earth. It's daunting, and there's definitely going to be some factor there where, Djokovic is raising his play and Carlos gets a little nervous, but I think he has the goods. I think he'll get over it and find a way through.
All right, and then lastly, before we get to the NBA, Sasha Zverev, Casper Ruud, a virtual coin flip. Zverev like a few pennies of a favorite in this. What do you think?
I think Ruud's going to get the job done. I kind of think that there isn't a player in the world that's a little bit more disrespected than Casper. I mean, he's made 2 Grand Slam finals in the last 12 months. I think he's going to go back to the final again here. He's played some really good tennis. I think he looks really good against Ruud. He really made him beat himself. He plays some unbelievable defense out there, which he obviously got from his idol, Rafael Nadal. And I think that Zverev has been playing unbelievable, but he hasn't been pushed in a way that I would have expected to this point in the tournament, which is a credit to his play. I just think that Ruud is going to come up with some big shots when it matters most. And I think that his game is a little too sturdy for Zverev, who has some mental strength issues out on the court.
Yeah, Casper Ruud was fantastic yesterday. Fantastic for those of us who gave out that bet as well. So what I'm finding out now will be the preliminary, but is actually, of course, the Titanic heavyweight match of them all. Djokovic and Alcaraz, which is what everybody expected to happen. When we got the draw and we found out they'd meet in the semifinals, and here we are. 22 Grand Slam single titles for Novak Djokovic. Carlitos, though, the favorite, and in American betting parlance, north of a $2 favorite. I'll ask, does that seem high to you? But in the British decimal system, does that seem short to you?
Well, first of all, I mean, I don't know if you guys follow soccer much, but they call Barcelona versus Real Madrid the El Clasico.
Yes.
And for me, this looks like the tennis equivalent. 2 absolute titans only having their second career meeting. And the first being over a year ago when Alcaraz was still world ranked number 9. The tables have turned somewhat. Alcaraz was just a slight underdog that day. Now he's the favourite, and I think he's pretty good value, actually. He's the favourite. So I'm going to be looking at potentially some handicap opportunities on him. Quite simply, his clay data this year is a lot better than Djokovic's. And I think this is really Alcaraz's match to lose.
I do too. You and I are certainly not exclusive in that, but we're not without people thinking that the play is to take Djokovic plus the games.
Well, I think a lot of people are probably of the mindset that Djokovic is very rarely priced as an underdog for a start. Mm-hmm. So that's an attraction in itself in terms of, probably over the last 5 years he's been underdog less than 5 times in matches. So, yeah, look, but that's a good illustration of the task that's ahead of him. Alcaraz, 20 years old, just turned 20 last month. And already with by far the best clay data on tour. All right. So
yeah.
This is Alcaraz to lose.
So you're going to lay the games with Carlitos? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm going to look at opportunities for that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably some form of game handicap.
Djokovic. Carlitos, tomorrow. What you got? Benny in the beds.
Benny. I'm stunned. Okay, I asked a couple of my close tennis friends over the weekend, and I wanted to save it for now, Gill, to ask you what they would have made the Alcaraz-Djokovic price. Our consensus was Alcaraz, $1.25, $1.30, slight favorite. But this is out of hand.
It is
a $2 favorite. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And if nothing, this is a 22-time Grand Slam champion, Novak Djokovic, who has only been an underdog against a non-Big Three player one time in the last decade. It was Daniil Medvedev in the 2021 Aussie Open final. He won in straight sets. It's apples and oranges comparing that to this. But at the very least, Gill, this is going to be an epic back-and-forth match. You will get opportunities, I believe, to get Alcaraz at a plus money price. So I'm going to go in, get Djokovic plus 172. I also threw a sprinkle plus 214 to win the tournament, because if he wins this match, he'll be an overwhelming favorite in the final. I don't know what you would make the price, Gill, but Alcaraz at $2 is just insane.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.